lovely, fresh, beautiful, healthy, colorful. Oh, look at these. I can't wait to taste them. Look at all these colors and how easy it is to prepare at home. It's a lovely, lovely Middle Eastern and Levantine recipe, perfect to entertain your guests or your family. Today we're going to be combining Middle Eastern and Levantine flavors to prepare a simple, delicious and a little bit spicy recipe. So let's start. So today we're going to be cooking a lamb meatballs with a low-carb fattoush. So I'm going to start by peeling and chopping the red onion. My red onion today is very big, and so because the onion goes into the meatballs, I'm going to try to make them as small as possible. For the garlic, you could definitely use a garlic press, but I'm not going to be too fussy because we're going to fry this garlic as well together with the onion, so it doesn't matter if it's not absolutely beautifully minced, it's small enough. So next, I'm going to put my pan on. I'm going to start heating it at medium-high heat. So we're going to fry the onion and garlic. It's going to soften them and also it's going to make the flavors mix well together. So you fry the onion and garlic for about 5 minutes until they're nicely softened. You just place them on a plate and let them start to cool down a little bit. I'll keep the pan so that I can fry the meatballs in the same pan. Let's put the lamb mince in quite a large bowl, and then I'm going to start mixing all the other spices that go with it. So I'm going to rinse my herbs. I've got some beautiful mint and some coriander. Gently dry with a paper towel. So for mint, the stem is quite hard, so you want to really pluck the leaves out. And in a fattoush or in your meatballs, you could really use any herbs you have at home. Parsley would be fine as well as dill, as well as even some fresh oregano or rosemary could do it. Coriander stems, on the other hand, are quite light. I'm just going to cut the ends off. And so I'm going to chop everything, and half of these herbs will go into the meatballs and half I will keep for the salad. I'm going to maybe keep a couple of nice mint leaves for the salad. Meanwhile, my onion has cooled down, so I'm going to put the onion in the bowl together with the minced meat. And then I'm going to add in the harissa paste. So the harissa paste is a red chili paste. It originates from Northern Africa, from Tunisia, and it's very spicy, so maybe just use half of the amount. But it gives a nice kick and a beautiful color. Some cumin powder, very typical for Middle Eastern cuisine. Same with the coriander powder. And then I'm going to put in half of the chopped mint and half of the chopped coriander. Then I'm going to add some salt and pepper. I love my pepper, so I'm going to put a really good grind and then a really good pinch of salt as well. And next, my favorite part, obviously, is to get your hands dirty and is to start kneading the dough. So the more you knead the dough, first of all, the more you mix the flavors, but also the more you knead the dough, the softer your meatballs will become. And you can see with the harissa what a beautiful color it gives to the meat mixture. So once the meatball mixture is ready, you can form into small meatballs. And we're going to fry our meatballs. Frying the meatballs is going to give them a nice texture, and also it's going to intensify the color. But if you feel like you want to go completely fuss-free, just pop them on your baking tray, 200 degrees, and about 15 minutes in the oven. So I've added some olive oil on my pan, and next all is to fry the meatballs. It's good to start with a high heat to get a nice seal, a nice brown color on the meatballs. And again, choose a slightly larger pan. You don't want to overcrowd your meatballs. You don't want them to touch each other and that way kind of start sweating against each other. This will make the pan have moisture in it, and they'll start steaming instead of frying. So this is what your pan should more or less look like. And I can instantly smell all the spices, the harissa. About 5 minutes and then we'll turn them around. And they have a nice, beautiful color. You could definitely prepare the meatballs in advance. Even fry them in advance and then just heat them up just before dinner. I'm going to cover them with a lid and let them to cook through. It's going to take another 5 minutes. So for my fattoush, I'm going to use a nice crunchy romaine lettuce. Typically the fattoush has hummus. So basically what that means, it has the toasted bread, but we're making a low-carb version. I'm going to give it a good rinse. So I'm going to rinse as well the cherry tomatoes and the cucumber, and then I'm going to slice the cherry tomatoes in half just to make them easier to eat, and we'll cut the cucumber as well. Then I'm going to add in the herbs that I have left, some mint and some coriander. And the last step really is to start tackling this pomegranate. It's beautiful, it's really red. I can feel it being quite heavy, so that's typically a good sign for a juicy pomegranate. I'm gonna cut it in half. So then you hold it in your hand like this and you start tapping. And that's it. And then I can quickly with my fingers remove some of the membranes that fall in, but otherwise it's looking pretty clean. All right, next one. So we're gonna make a nice sour salad dressing for the fattoush. So the main ingredient is pomegranate molasses, but to bring the molasses alive, we're gonna need some lemon. So I'm gonna cut it in half. I'm just gonna gently squeeze it in my dressing bowl. And then next I'm gonna add the molasses. And you can use molasses in any kind of dressing. So I'm gonna mix it in, and you can see the dressing changes color. Looks a bit like balsamic vinegar now. I'm gonna add a good dollop of olive oil. I'm gonna add the sumac powder, another tart element, then a small pinch of salt and a grind of black pepper. So I'm gonna mix the dressing. I'm gonna pour it on top of my salad. I'm gonna toss the salad a little bit, make sure all that dressing is everywhere. And the sumac as well ties in the colors beautifully, gives that beautiful finish to the salad. And then last touch, we'll top it up with the amazing pomegranate seeds. And so here we have a lovely, fresh, tart, beautiful, healthy, colorful fattoush. And we're gonna check what the meatballs are doing. Oh, look at these. They have a beautiful shine on them, a lovely color. I can't wait to taste them. And I'm gonna start by putting a nice amount of the fattoush on the plate. Look at all these colors and how easy it is to prepare at home. And then the meatballs. It's a lovely, lovely Middle Eastern and Levantine recipe, perfect to entertain your guests or your family during Ramadan. Light, spicy and delicious. For similar fun weeknight recipes, you can click here. And for my part, sahteen.